Ohio State recruiting is red hot, and so is the recruitment of edge Luke Welful. He was in Columbus this weekend, Steve. It was his official visit weekend. Do you think coming out that the Buckeyes could be the team to beat for Luke Welful?
I do indeed. Talking to Luke Welful's family, talking to sources that spent time with him during his visit to Ohio State, I think the Buckeyes do have the edge in his recruitment right now. His father told me the weekend was perfect. Really sitting down and getting to know new defensive coordinator Matt Patricia was the new thing of this visit, because when he visited in the spring, I thought Ohio State had some momentum after time spent with Ryan Day, getting back around Coach Day, getting around Coach Larry Johnson several times. They said that was special. The specific detail, the plans they have to develop him, Ohio State's track record, the level of football they're playing at, the city of Columbus, the NIL opportunities on and off the field. I think Ohio State has taken the lead in the recruitment for Luke Welful. Penn State and Texas still very much right there. I'm not sleeping on either of those programs. USC and Florida rounding out the top five. If Ohio State were ranking their prospects in the 2026 class, Josh, I think Luke Welful might be their first pick. He's our number one ranked prospect in New Jersey, trending for a fifth star. I think Ohio State would draft him number one in 2026.
All right. Sounds like they made a major statement with one of their priority targets. Now, speaking of headliners, we also had number one running back Savian Haidider on campus. This has been a major battle between the likes of Ohio State, Tennessee, Michigan, even Georgia in there. Where do you think things are standing with Savian Haidider?
Well, a lot of love for Ohio State. It starts with running backs coach Carlos Lachlan. That might be his best relationship right now of the process. Ohio State, the running back pedigree from Ezekiel Elliott to the guys this past year, Quinson Judkins and Travion Henderson. And speaking of that, the ability for both of them to play at a high level, be 1,000-yard rushers, be so in the game plan, two running back system, him seeing all of that. I think it was an exciting visit to the Buckeyes, and it's a place where Savian Haidider and his family feel like he could have great success for a coaching staff they trust within a program that has a proven track record of developing guys on and off the field.
So who do you think stands at the top of this recruitment?
Still think it's Michigan and Tennessee when all said and done. Those are the programs I'm watching the most right now. I think they're the programs that will take that recruitment up another level from an NIL standpoint if they have to land one of the most coveted players on their board, respectively. Ohio State's running back room is loaded. There's a standard in that position room. Savian Haidider certainly fits that mold, a guy that they were able to show, look, this is how we develop guys. This is why we get the best out of him. But Tennessee and Michigan, they're no slouches in that department as well. I think Savian Haidider is the number one player overall on Michigan's board. He was at Tennessee last weekend for 865 Live. The Vols get the last official visit June 20th. Michigan gets the visit June 13th. Georgia's going to take their swing this weekend. Ohio State, great visit, I'm told, but the buzz for me still more around Michigan and Tennessee for Savian Haidider.
Okay. Well, where's the buzz around offensive tackle Felix Ojo, the 5-star out of Texas, was in Columbus for his official visit this weekend?
Well, Ohio State's in the middle of that recruitment. He loves the Buckeyes, always has. Had a great visit to Ohio State in the spring. I think they're the biggest challenger to Texas as this recruitment continues. We'll see if the Buckeyes can pull another elite player out of the Lone Star State. They have a track record of doing that. Felix Ojo is their top target from Texas this cycle. Great visit, getting around the guys, around the staff. He can see himself at Ohio State. He's going to continue through his process. Texas is the RPM pick. Don't have enough to change it right now, but if he picked Ohio State, I would not be surprised.
All right, Steve, what other intel you got coming out of the weekend for Ohio State fans?
Well, I think one more big visitor that they host, or excuse me, two more big visitors that they hosted over the weekend. Obviously, 5-star linebacker Xavier Griffin. Alabama is my on-3 RPM pick for Xavier Griffin, but there was a source at Ohio State over the weekend that thought the Buckeyes in Texas were in better position. And I think people assume from an infrastructure standpoint, those are the programs that would go biggest for Xavier Griffin. I think he's a top target on Alabama's board. He's got a lot of love for the Crimson Tide, but it was a great visit to Ohio State. He said as much to our teammate Chad Simmons. The Buckeyes, their track record of development at linebacker, James Laurinaitis, his history at the position, being an All-American at Ohio State, playing in the NFL. Those were things that really excited him. And then we talked about Luke Welful, but you also had pass rusher Jake Kroll on campus out of IMG Academy. And like Luke Welful, he had a great visit. He told me it was absolutely awesome. Loved the energy around the program, the OSU standard, wanting to be the best in the world at everything they do. Coach Patricia, Coach Johnson, amazing experience. He called Coach Johnson the GOAT of producing NFL defensive linemen, pointed to Patricia's multiple Super Bowls. Hard to not see yourself getting developed here. Coming into these official visits, I liked Oklahoma for Jake Kroll. We'll see if the Sooners can hang on. Ohio State certainly showed him a lot this weekend. And I also predicted Ohio State to land offensive tackle Aaron Thomas out of Arizona. He's a Florida State legacy. Texas and Texas A&M are also in play. But I think the Buckeyes set the tone with this official visit as they push for the #1 recruiting class in the land.